Hello, and thank you for joining us today in our study of the book of Psalms. Today we are in Psalm 71. And as we look at this psalm, this one is directed toward God being a place of safety, being a refuge for us when we are in trouble and when we are in time of need. We don't have any information about specifically who authored this particular psalm or the circumstances under which it was authored, though many do attribute it to David. But let's look at what's stated here in Psalm 71. Beginning in verse 1, we read, "In you, O Lord, I put my trust. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness and cause me to escape. Incline your ear to me and save me. Be my strong refuge, to which I may resort continually. You have given the commandment to save me, for you are my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. For you are my hope, O Lord God. You are my trust from my youth. By you I have been upheld from birth. You are he who took me out of my mother's womb. My praise shall be continually of you. I have become as a wonder to many, but you are my strong refuge. Let my mouth be filled with your praise and with your glory all the day. Do not cast me off in the time of old age. Do not forsake me when my strength fails. For my enemies speak against me, and those who lie in wait for my life take counsel together, saying, God has forsaken him. Pursue and take him, for there is none to deliver him. O God, do not be far from me. O my God, make haste to help me. Let them be confounded and consumed who are adversaries of my life. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor who seek my hurt. But I will hope continually, and will praise you yet more and more. My mouth shall tell of your righteousness and your salvation all the day, for I do not know their limits. I will go in the strength of the Lord God. I will make mention of your righteousness, of yours only. O God, you have taught me from my youth, and to this day I declare your wondrous works. Now also, when I am old and gray-headed, O God, do not forsake me, until I declare your strength to this generation, your power to every one who is to come. Also your righteousness, O God, is very high. You who have done great things, O God, who is like you? You who have shown me great and severe troubles shall revive me again, and bring me up again from the depths of the earth. You shall increase my greatness, and comfort me on every side. Also with the lute I will praise you, and your faithfulness, O my God. To you I will sing with the harp, O Holy One of Israel. My lips shall greatly rejoice when I sing to you, and my soul which you have redeemed. My tongue shall also talk of your righteousness all the day long, for they are confounded, for they are brought to shame who seek my hurt. As you look at Psalm 71, you have here this constant image of God being a help, of being a place of refuge, of being a place of safety for the one who is in distress. I wanted you to notice a couple of things about this psalm as we look at some lessons from it. The first one is the use of the word refuge. Here, a couple of different times, you have the writer talking about God as being a refuge, and yet it's going to be used in a couple of different ways. In verse 3, when he says, Be my strong refuge to which I may resort continually, the word there that is translated refuge comes from the Hebrew word that means a habitation, a dwelling place, a home, a place to stay. So in this particular context, or in this particular instance, the writer is talking about having a long-term place to stay, a place to call home in the presence or under the care of God. He says, incline your ear to me at the end of verse 2 and save me. And he says in verse 3, you have given the commandment to save me. There is this place to call home, There is this place of refuge to stay, not just to be in for a moment or for a short time, but to stay in. But then down in verse 7, you have another use of the term. He says, I have become as a wonder to many, but you are my strong refuge. It's a different word that's being utilized here. This word is a word in the Hebrew that means a stronghold or a fortress, a place of safety. And so you have two different ideas of a refuge. One is a place that I can stay and have a home. The other is a place of safety, a fortress, a stronghold from those who would hurt on the outside. Now, both of those elements are overlapping in a sense because they both are found in God and with God. But at the same time, they're different elements of this idea of a refuge. And so it's in more than one way that God being our refuge is being discussed in this psalm. The second thing that I want us to notice is the several allusions that are found in this particular psalm to age. Because the writer here is going to talk about on several occasions the help that God has delivered over the course of his life. You go back to verse 5, and there it says, For you are my hope, O Lord God, you are my trust from my youth. By you I have been upheld from my birth, he says, verse 6. But then you drop down to verse 9, and he says, Do not cast me off in the time of old age. But the ultimate point to be made in this is found deeper in the psalm in verses 17 and 18. He says, O God, you have taught me from my youth, and to this day I declare your wondrous works. Now also, when I am old and gray-headed, O God, do not forsake me until I declare your strength to this generation, your power to everyone who is to come. Here you have the picture of an older man who has been serving God from the time he was young. And yet God is still the place of his confidence. God is still the one in whom he puts his trust. It started when he was young. And now when he is old, it is still the refuge for him to be. You have with these statements the recognition of the importance of us having that relationship with God and building that trust and that confidence in God at an early age so that it continues to grow and become stronger and to become more solid and stable throughout our lives. And it should be something that continues to solidify and continues to gain strength as we get older, so that it would be the point where as we get old, it's let me work. Let me proclaim your goodness. Let me proclaim your praises to everyone who is to come. There's a lot of other things we could talk about from this psalm, but these are some of the things that stood out to me as I was studying it, and I hope that they've been beneficial to you. Next time we'll come back and we'll begin looking at Psalm 72. Thank you for watching the video today, and I hope that you'll join us next time. But until then, I hope you have a great day.